Hello again. We're back. Right.
Hello. So yeah, we're back again.
Yeah, last time we went through the Witchbrook document, so we're somewhat snookered in what to do in episode 2 because we've pretty much
Been
gone
through
through
everything we know.
Yeah.
Which is somewhat unfortunate.
Yeah. So it makes sense really that we just go for a wish list next time. This is the kind of things that we think might be nice that we don't see in the document. So
now we know what they want in Witchbrook. We're gonna say what we want in Witchbrook.
yeah,
So it's Wishbrook.
it is Witchbrook. Yeah.
Wishbrook. But yeah. So
Okay. So
I'll go
who wants to start? You want to go
Okay.
for it? All right, go for
Okay.
it. Yeah.
So my first one is dorm rooms, which they've
Oh,
already.
yeah, dorm rooms.
But yeah,
Okay.
they've already said that it's going to be like a boarding school. So
Do we have dorm rooms in here? I can't
I
remember.
think
if there
dorm
was.
rooms were somewhere.
Yeah, cool. No, I think it's really good because
Yeah,
you know
'cause-
if you're a student, you need somewhere to live. So
Yeah, because I like the idea that like you can like visit like dorm rooms, and you can like if you don't have a bit like in Stardew Valley, but you're still able to visit their rooms.
Yeah.
So like if you've got a high enough relationship, you can go in whatsoever. But if you don't have a high enough relationship, you have to try and like sneak in while they're not there. And if you
Yeah.
and if they find out you're there, they can like I don't know, you can get into trouble or something. But yeah,
Well, I've just realised I don't have dorm. I have common room, which is kind of the same thing.
that
You know,
sounds cool.
yeah, because I don't know if they're going to do. I mean, obviously we're looking at Harry Potter here as the influences, but yeah, the common rooms is a really nice idea because you've got a place where you can kind of meet your people in your classes and things like that. So.
I've thought of like 2 other points that I could put on my thing.
Well, go for it.
But
It's,
yeah,
it's an ideas one.
I
so-
like the idea that there's like different houses, because I want there to be like not such solid houses that it's like Ravenclaw, Gryffindor, but I like the idea that there's kind of like houses kind
Yeah.
of thing, and so they like you go into the common room and one's just like plants and the other one's just books. And then I'm just going to merge those two together and I will be in heaven. Plants, books and fishes.
Yeah, big 3. Yeah. Yeah, I think that definitely gives it some character, and it's nice that you've got sort of your house versus the other house. I think you can get some really nice stories out of that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's top of my list. My sort of, although I have a few things kind of jotted down, the number one thing I want of anything else is a really good story. Because if you think about everything that's in here, this is mechanics for the game. There's really very little about the story in here. So I think like a really good story. I mean, what we do know is that you're going to start in year 1, presumably, or reception, if that's the thing, you know, but probably not.
Early years.
Yeah, early years, yeah. And then you'll go through all the different years. And I think at the end, then you get your witch...
Witch Grimoire?
yeah,
Witch
witch permit.
permit?
There you go.
Witch permit.
This is a witch permit in a final exam. So I think that's part of the story. I think that's a really good progression as well, because it gives you, it's sort of episodic. You know, you do year 1, year 2, year whatever, and then you get the final exam at the end. So because I think Stardew Valley is interesting like that. There is a little bits of things between years. Like there's a character shows up in year 2.
So year 2,
Yeah.
Kent shows up.
Yep, that's
And then
right.
year 3, Grandpa shows up, and that's kind of you're done.
Yeah.
Right, well done.
Something of a bit part, but yeah,
Yeah.
sure. But that's right. But I think this is just right for a really good story, you know. So that's my number one. That's top of my
That's
list.
your
Like,
point.
yeah, it's got to
Okay.
be a cracker. So.
My second one is fish bowls.
Sure, we're back to fish. All right.
Back
Yeah.
to fish again. But yeah, I just like the idea that I can like collect fish and then like just put them in fish bowls. Because me and my dad were playing a Stardew Valley multiplayer game, and I did kind of just spend all of our money on fish tanks.
Yes. Yeah, we got fish tanks before we got big
backpacks.
rucksacks, which was like completely pointless. But yeah.
But it's a fish
But it's
tank.
very nice. You know, I wake up in my little house
You
with
got my hand-me-down fish tank,
Yeah,
and
I
I've got
got
the massive fish
second-hand
tank
fish
now.
tank. Yeah. So.
But yeah,
Well, I quite like the idea of tunnels underneath. Can you think? Yeah.
Ooh, like a maze.
Yeah, or just there's definitely lots of history in because it's an old school, so yeah, I love the idea of tunnels. I wasn't sure about crypts. I think that's getting a little bit creepy. It might be a bit, that's where you bury people. So like, like old headmasters or like old wizards could possibly be down there. But I think that ties into the story. If you've got like a good story, then you could go exploring in the bits you're not meant to go, because that's where all the best stories happen. So, yeah. Yeah. There's something underneath the castle, or underneath. It's not castle, it's a school, isn't it? So underneath the school. Yeah.
You ready? Quote of the year: rules are made to be broken.
Yes, definitely for stories. Absolutely, yeah. So, yeah. But yeah, I think that'd be awesome. Yeah, something cool.
Right. Mine is punishment for forbidden magic, because when we read this one, in forbidden magic it said if you perform forbidden magic in front of a teacher, then you'll be expelled. You'll wake up the next day and it will turn out to be all a dream. I want there to be a more serious thing.
Yes, consequences. We did talk about that last time, but I think you're bang on. It's just a bit, because
that means you can just do forbidden magic. Yeah. Oh yes, I will now kill you. Oh yes, I will now kill you. You can just kill people left, right and centre.
Yeah, which is awkward. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I get the fact they had to sort of reset things a little bit, but I think there's got to be a nicer way of doing that. But if you think as well, I mean, this document's like 2 years old now, so they've had a couple of years to think about it, and I'm sure it's evolved quite a bit since this. And yeah, well, like we're saying, there's no story in this yet, or not a great deal in there. So, but yeah, proper consequences. Completely agree. Yeah. I want to look through the telescope. Yeah, I know this sounds stupid, but I do. So if you think about it, the game is, I don't have any good pictures in here, but it's sort of isometric 3D. So if we're always looking down, so you'll never see the sky from the view that you're in. So I like the idea, perfect. I like the idea that if you go to the telescope, then you can look through and then you see the night sky. Because if we've got things like passing of the seasons and spells, all of that could maybe be like, you've got to do this at a certain time, so you have to look at the night sky and see what the constellations are doing, and then that all ties into storybooks that are in the library because somebody checked out the book, and all tie it all together.
Ties.
Yeah, exactly. So but yeah, I just kind of want to go to the telescope because it looks awesome. So.
All right, my fourth point: cats.
Cats. I love cats.
I like the idea that you can be standing like somewhere in school and there's just like cats running through your legs and like a bunch of different, and then like maybe you might trip over a cat and it makes you look late for school or something.
Would you do like sort of familiars, so you can have a cat or an owl or a frog, or
I like there to be like,
you want a fish, don't you, basically?
I have multiple
in your fish tank,
in my multiple fish tanks, fish bowls, actually. Fish bowl, But yeah, I just like the idea that there's like a bunch of cats, and I can say hi to the cats, and then I can stroke the cats, and then I can call them different names, and then I can say hi to the cats, and then the cats will also be my enemies because they try to eat my fish, and then there's like some sort of feud going on between me and the cats, and everyone looks at me like, you are crazy, and I'm like, I need to protect my fish.
What happens if it's catfish? Then you're confused, and it could be either. So.
I'll put it in a fish bowl and test it. But yeah, that is my fourth point.
Yeah, okay. What else have I got? I don't have a lot left. One last thing is, I thought it might be cool if you arrive by train. And there's something, and I'm sure this is complete Harry Potter, and I don't think you could take the train anywhere else. Maybe you could if they decided to expand it a bit, but I love the idea of sort of old steam train arrives and then this is you getting off at your new school. But I don't know, it's just an idea I had, but I kind of think it can be beautifully done. I can just picture it now.
Yeah, that's kind of like my other point, cutscenes, because I like the idea that there's like cutscenes and they improve the story, and
absolutely. Well, I mean, cutscenes are, if we have a really good story, then they're like the icing on the cake, really. You get, something happens and then you get a cutscene. So.
The cherry on top of the cake.
Yeah.
Character creator. Just I want to be able to create a character. I want to be able to create me, and then I can go to like Witchy Witch Spot. I don't know. I tried to name the school and I named it. But yeah, I want to go to like the
Well,
Witchy.
here's a question then. There's different types of games. You know, there are games that are kind of story style.
Yeah, I like there to be a
point and
story,
click.
but I still want there to be like you're able to play it anyway.
So a bit like an RPG where you could create your character and then have your character. So what would you be creating then?
I would create me because I want to go.
So like
I want to be witchy.
the style how you live.
Yeah. And then I'd probably create like cute character.
Mm-hmm.
Just a bunch of different characters.
Like how they dress and hats. And would you do something so you could choose the house they were in if we were going to do houses or something like that? Or is that too early? Could that be part of the story?
I don't know. Because also we made this, we talked about this in the other video, but I like the idea that you could like go to a tree and then you take a branch off the tree and that's your magic wand.
That is really nice. Yeah, I like that idea. Yeah.
I love the idea that happens.
Yeah.
Just
well, it's nice bit of storytelling as well, and world building is, I think that's it. If we have a really nice story that's sort of supported by cutscenes and all sorts of things like that, it's going to be really good. So,
okay.
right, my list is done really. I just want a really good story essentially with lots of cool bits in it. Yeah.
My last point is witchy events.
Oh, all right.
Because I like the idea that there's like a calendar and there's like the summer solstice and the winter solstice and like kind of like very cool, like, is it pagan? Which is the...
like an olden calendar.
Yeah.
You've got Imbolg and all those wonderful things. Like, I have no idea what Imbolg is, but I definitely want to celebrate it. So,
yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. I think that would be great. And the way they've done the calendar, that I think it's 30 days, is that right, per season?
Yeah, 30
Something
days
like that,
per
which
season.
is kind of nice. Yeah, so it's... Well, yeah, I like the idea of certain things have to be done at certain times. So maybe you, for example, the tree, if you were choosing your wand, you can only choose that wand on the summer solstice or something like that. So that's quite cool. Yeah. Or actually, no, it depends when term starts. So if term starts in March.
Where are the creators from? Is it America? Most people come from America.
I think Chocolfish is UK. So
UK. So it will probably be September then.
All right. Are you thinking of the UK school term?
I'm trying to think of when school starts.
Yeah, no, that's just completely right, actually. Yeah.
So yeah, September.
I mean, the old calendars used to start in March.
What season is September? Autumn?
The end of summer. So
end of summer.
Yeah, end of summer going into September the 21st, I think, is the solstice.
I just class it as
August 21st. Right, yeah.
I just class it as when, like, if the leaves turn orange, then I know it's autumn.
Yeah, exactly. Just
and
look
then
out the
like,
window.
so it's like the 25th, a second after.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just like that. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, that's my list actually. It might be a shorter one this time round, but
you said you had a story about like paganism or something about like.
No, you were talking earlier on before we got chatting about witches and druids, because we're so obviously female witches, male druids.
Mm-hmm. What would non-binary be?
I don't know. You'd have to tell me. Yeah.
Maybe.
Woods. Yeah.
I don't know. That'd be cool though.
Well, I once went to a talk by the chap who basically runs PR for the Druids. There's a British Druid Society, I don't know what they're called, but he was the chief Druid. So you know when you see the pictures on the news from Stonehenge and the Druids are there doing their ceremony.
Oh yeah.
Then he basically runs PR for the Druid. And the funny thing he said was that it's much easier. Everyone loves Druids. They just think they're really great. But if you're witches, you got a bit of a PR problem. Witches sound like they're spooky. So yeah, Druids get it nice and easy, but the witches have it much harder. So, yeah, anyway, made me chuckle. But yeah, really fascinating talk though.
Were you a chuckling fish?
I was chuckling fish. Yeah. Or back to fish again.
Back to fish.
Everything goes back to fish. Yeah.
The most important point of all is that fish are the supreme being of fish.
Okay.
I have no idea where that went.
Yeah, I mean,
I like fish.
yeah. Well, definitely, there's plenty of fish. I mean, a good chunk of this document is about fish. So, yeah, looking forward to the fish part. Yeah.
I'm just mainly looking forward to fish.
Yeah.
I want to see the map. Like, I want to
Yeah.
see what the map
I
looks
want to see how
like.
big it is as well. Yeah. I mean, I suspect it's going to be. Well, in my head, I can sort of imagine it, but it's not big enough that it needs. Fast travel or anything like that. I think it's a much more tighter map.
In my head, I can just see like green, school, town. I imagine it to be like kind of like the school is surrounded by woods, and then the town is just on the like beach side.
Yeah.
And so there's like maybe you go by boat.
Oh, boat would be nice. Yeah, because there's a river in one of the pictures. When you see the cafe, I'm sure it's by a river.
I'm
don't
gonna
think it's in
do
this one, yeah.
supreme Sherlock Holmesing.
Yeah, it's not on this one. We'll probably find it.
Oh yeah, it might be in one of the screenshots.
One of the screenshots, yeah. If we find it, we'll pop it on. So, yeah, I'm sure. I think around my boat's quite nice, actually. I like that. Yeah.
Oh.
Or a narrow boat, like an old narrow boat.
Viking boat.
Yeah.
I've already decided that if I die, I want like a Viking boat send-off.
Right,
I want to be like on a burning boat.
pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, right. I start building that now. Yeah, it's going to take a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
I think on that note, we'll see you next time. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.